Madam told don't see for the numbers, but I want everybody to be enlightened as well as educated, so that in your day-to-day affairs, because one of my statement is, unless until any advocate or a lawyer or an attorney is familiar with cybercrime, and is not aware how to handle a cybercrime, then days are like very thin or very less, where we will be engulfed in cybercrimes, because the world has become a global village, and people are just a mouse click away. This should be born in our minds. That's why, good evening everybody. Today we are in day 5, and today's topic is law enforcement agencies and corresponding case law. Uh, Case law is Mohammad Shafi versus State NCT of Delhi, which is a landmark case on drug trafficking and procedural complaints. Today being a very leveraging session, that means what we have learned for all the four days, and here we are now in a position to enter into the shoes of an advocate dealing with cybercrime. At the same time, the other pillar, three pillars: legislature, judiciary, and executive. So this is to do with the executive, that is the law enforcement agencies, who help us in nabbing the culprit, at the same time coming up with a proper adjudication process. So what we put up before the judicial authorities and how we interact with the law enforcement agencies and gather the evidence. Last session was admissibility of electronic evidence. So here we will see this is a typical case of drug trafficking and the parties involved, and how the law enforcement agency has handled this in nabbing the culprits. So Tareen is the co-accused and Shafi is the main culprit, and both are nabbed, and this is the landmark judgment. So we'll have a detailed slides today. I think it will be going very long, but at the same time, I will go quickly. First, taking the very case law itself. So, background and the key players. The incident occurred on May 7th, 2021 in Kyala, New Delhi. The Delhi police received a tip-off regarding the Afghan national involved in the supplying of heroin, which is coming under, what is that? The Narcotic Drugs and Psychotropic Substances Act 1985. So the key players: Muhammad Shafi, he is an Afghan national apprehended along with Tarina, accused of supplying the drug called heroin. So Tarina, an individual apprehended alongside of Muhammad Shafi, and her role in the case remain unspecified. Now, who are involved? Is the Delhi police. They are the investigating authority. They laying a trap based on the informant's trip. They also the tip which the informant has given. They also handle the legal proceedings. So the act involved is, again I am repeating, the Narcotics, Drugs and Psychotropic Substances Act 1985. Now getting into the details of legal landscape. The case revolved around this Narcotics Drugs Act, a stringent law prohibiting the manufacture, possession, sale and trafficking of narcotic drugs and psychotropic substances. The Should I proceed without the recording, sir? Mahesh Garu? But this is going live on the
What's the
YouTube.
problem in recording? You can go ahead, sir.
But this is going live on YouTube and other social media.
Yes, sir, it's live on YouTube.
Okay, the recording is stopped.
No, why, sir? Right.
Okay. So the legal landscape is this is a case revolved around the Narcotics, Drugs and Psychotropic Substances Act 1985. Very stringent law prohibiting the manufacture, possession, sale and trafficking of narcotic drugs and psychotropic substances. is also called Foreigners Act 1946, which also played a role due to the accused nationality. Why? The accused are from Afghanistan. NDPS Act aims to control and regulate the production, manufacture, possession, sale, purchase, transport, and use of narcotic drugs and psychotropic substances. The Foreigners Act 1946 primarily governs the entry, stay, and exit of foreigners in India. It's pertinent in this case due to Muhammad Shafi's nationality, who is an Afghan. So, getting into the details, it's just only 8 slides. We'll get into the main subject, but this is the case law you should understand. That's why I'm coming in the reverse way. Recently, one of our senior advocate, Santanam sir, told first go to the illustration, then you will have a mindset. Then we will see for the sections. Then we leverage those sections. How in this illustration or the case law is handled. So that's my focus, and definitely that has paid a good result. That's the reason I am following the same thing as our Santanam sir has suggested. Now, prosecution's case. Prosecution presented its case arguing for the validity of Muhammad Shafi's arrest and the presence of strong evidence supporting the drug trafficking charges. What do they emphasize? They emphasize the compliance with the NDPS Act's procedures. What is that first one? Evidence of the drug trafficking. Then the prosecution likely presented evidence such as the recovered heroin, witness testimonies, or recordings to establish the accused involvement in drug trafficking. So, most of the audience or participants have handled many criminal cases. With that mindset, you come to the presentment of the evidence. So, what is that they have recovered? Heroin. Number one, the main product or the main element in the entire crime is heroin. Then the witness testimonies and the recordings. Recordings, last time I told you, for criminal, it is 164 section. Confessions before police. To establish the accused involvement in the said case of drug trafficking. Next, procedural compliance. So we know we have to like get the Shafi arrested, and the evidence has to be seized, and that is the two requirements or two requisites or prerequisites of the procedural part of it. That is procedural compliance. Next, defense perspective. What is that defense perspective? We have to see defense argued against the prosecution claims. It's but natural because they are the defense. They alleged procedural lapses in the arrest and highlighted the potential of discriminatory treatment based on the gender and vehicle ownership. Who is the other gender? There's a Tasreem. What is her name? Key players. Tarina. Very good. So here there is a gender bias. That's what they said. So Tarina is let loose or given a long rope, and that is a discriminatory, and that is the defense playing word or playing defense played on that count or on that card. So more so procedural lapses. One is discriminatory treatment between Shafi and Tarina. Next, the defense likely questioned the legality of the arrest, focusing on the potential breaches of the NDPS Act's procedures during the raid. Okay, so the one is gender discrimination, another is the procedural lapses in arresting and focusing on the potential breaches of the NDPS Act. Next, court's decision and reasoning. The court ruled against the bail application, upholding the accused detention. The decision emphasized the need for strict compliance with the NDPS Act and the sufficiency of evidence against the accused. Number one, sufficient evidence. The court, based on the presented evidence, likely concluded that there was enough proof to suggest Muhammad Shafi's involvement in the said drug trafficking case. Next, this is a very strict law or act, I should say, strict NDPS Act compliance. The court emphasized the importance and of the following of the NDPS Act procedures strictly, sending a message about the seriousness of the drug-related offences. Now, impact and the implications. The Delhi High Court's decision has a wide range implications for the future cases involved in drug trafficking and the enforcement of the NDPS Act. It highlights the importance of procedural compliance and strengthens the prosecution's ability to pursue drug related offenses. What is a judicial precedent? This case sets a precedent for future cases, demonstrating the court's stance on the NDPS Act and the procedural compliance in the drug trafficking cases. And the enforcement part of it, this decision bolsters the power of law enforcement agency to effectively combat the drug trafficking by emphasizing the importance of adhering to the NDPS Act procedures. It's a fair trial. The importance and relevance in the modern days, where even our Hyderabad city is also one of the major victims, and there was sufficient cases, but they never converted into a real case because of the film industry involved. So they finally settled with a compromise. Sir, we'll go into the main subject. So let us not have any crosstalks. People wants to talk behind their laptops or behind their computers. They can mute themselves and do their parallel business while multitasking and viewing our presentation. Now, conclusion. The Mohammad Shafi versus State of NCT of Delhi case serves as a critical reminder of the need for strict adherence to the NDPS Act and the legal framework for combating drug trafficking. It also underscores the importance of fair and impartial judicial proceedings. So, with it, we have set the context of the relevance of the law enforcement agencies, who is nothing but the Delhi police, who invoked the NDPS Act 1985 and also Foreigners Act 1946. So, I'll stop sharing and get into the other slides so that you'll have a fair idea of who are all the law enforcement agencies, what is their role, and the corresponding IPC, CRPC, Evidence Act, which you have to see in the BNSS, BNS, and the Bharatiya Saksha Adhinam. So that exercise we can do, but I limited myself to the criminal major laws or acts of the legacy. Legacy in the sense before July 1st, 2024. In the meantime, you can put your concerns and questions in the chat box. Okay, somebody has written, thank you, friendship. Happy Friendship Day. Oh, very good, very good. That's nice. So I wish you all a happy Friendship Day.
Thank you, sir. Thank you.
Yeah, by the time we close the 10-day workshop, definitely we'll all be good friends and exchanging ideas and nabbing the culprits and implementing our knowledge gained in this workshop in our day-to-day cybercrime handlings.
Thank you, sir. Thank you.
Now I'm going to the
Sir,
next.
I have a general question. Can I ask you, sir?
Go ahead.
Yeah. Sir, the BNS came into the picture on 1st July 2024.
Yes.
Yeah. So all the cases that were filed before that will be dealt with IPC, CPC, and CRPC, right?
Absolutely, yes.
Okay. So my question is, sir, the adultery that was removed in the year, I hope it is in the year 2021.
Okay.
Okay. So whatever the cases that were filed for adultery or whatever the things that were present before that, means all the cases that are filed before that that section removal, all those will be dealt in that thing, sir.
See,
if suppose 2000, Yeah, you got the point.
I got it. Police have given a
Yeah.
circular also about the
Oh,
old cases, about the see if the what do you say, if the offense has committed on 31st, sorry, 31st June, 1st July onwards, this came into force. So the case will be booked in the Legacy Acts or Legacy Criminal Major laws, but the dealing and investigation and the adjudication process is taking into consideration the new BNS, BNSS, and Bharatiya Sakshya Adhinam. It's very clear. The circular is taking care of your genuine doubt in terms of dates.
so can you
So
please repeat? I didn't
all
get
the
it.
cases prior to 1st July would be handled under the IPC, IPC, CRPC, and Indian Evidence Act.
Yes, sir.
Yeah,
Sir,
that's it.
that I understood, sir. I understood. I'm only focusing my concentration on only adultery part, sir. Adultery part. That adultery section was removed in the year, for example, 2021. For example, I don't exactly remember when that was removed. But for example, if it is 2021, there is a case that is filed in the year 2016, 17, 18, 19, something. Okay. All
Yeah.
these cases are related to adultery. So that cases will be means they'll be in the process of getting punishment.
Obviously, see, I will tell you, madam, uh, how many people have handled land grabbing cases? At least in Telangana?
I didn't do so.
Okay, good. But for general knowledge, I am telling, land grabbing act has been repealed or it is not in vogue in Telangana. But,
Okay.
but what happens to the cases in 2012 which were booked under land grabbing act? They are still being adjudicated.
Okay. Okay. Okay.
This should answer your question, madam.
Yeah. 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 Got it. Got
Right,
it.
right.
Got it.
So now
Thank
let
you,
me
sir.
share.
Thank you.
Yeah, welcome. Let me share my law enforcement presentation. My screen is visible, madam?
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir. Yes.
Yes.
Okay, good. Now, are we seeing the law enforcement agents in cybercrime investigation?
Yes, sir.
Okay, good. So now, basically, cybercrime poses a significant threat to individuals. I just told now it is the order of the day, but day to day, we are, as I told you, I'm repeating myself, world has become a global village and everybody is on the net, if not on the palm. And the palm means earlier it was like small PDA, personal digital assistant. Now it has become a high-end smartphone. We can do wonders with this smartphone just holding in your palm. So now, because of the rapid engulfment or rapid development on the technology, there are sufficient apps which are catered or only developed for only the apps on a mobile. I can just show you. Last night I was doing about what are the apps which are dealing in cybercrime. So there are many apps developed for handling from being handled from a smartphone rather than a desktop. So investigation has come to the hand also to investigate. So investigation has come handy in a smartphone to deal with. As such, many times I was showing my other Samsung phone, which is a larger phone with a high end. It's a high end Samsung phone with 5G. before 5G came into Hyderabad, I had a 5G phone. So, and same thing I'm continuing. I'm using it as a mini laptop. So everything is so easy and so tough also, because uh, the 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 world has become a global village. So not that only through a computer, only through a desktop, only through a laptop, crimes can be committed. No, just by clicking on the smartphone you are holding in your palm. So it is a threat to individuals, businesses, and the nations. So intercontinental, inter-country, or international crimes are happening. The rapid evolution of technology has created new avenues for criminals to exploit, leading to an alarming increase in cybercrime incidents. In India, the government has taken a proactive approach to combat this menace, establishing a dedicated law enforcement agencies to investigate and prosecute the cybercrime offenses. So, first thing, relevant acts should be in place, and then the law enforcement agencies, so that they go hand in hand to nab the culprit and prosecute the cybercrime offenses. So here I need not go through the IT Act as per se, but the outline thereof, such as the offenses committed, which IT Act has brought in its umbrella. Earlier CPC there, CRPC is there, IPC is there, Indian Evidence Act is there. Then what was the need for IT Act 2000? Because it does not cover the evolving cyber crimes or evolving crimes on the internet, crimes on one smartphone to another smartphone. Then it was not there 2000, but one mobile to another mobile, or one node to another node, or router to network devices. Network devices has see, there is a router and a switch. Switch has intelligence, router is just a postman. So in the router and in the switch, there is intelligence provided, and that was tampered so that the calls are routed to the miscreant. So that is a simple example. That did not cover in 1999 or 2000. That's the reason Unicitral and the IT Act come into vogue when United Nations came with this proposition. So, the relevant sections. The IT Act contains several sections specifically addressing the cyber crime offenses, such as Section 67. It is to do or deal with publishing or transmitting obscene material in the electronic form. So, all these, madam, pay attention to. I've made an elaborate slides. This and one more is also there. So, you need not waste time in noting down. I will be supplying this or at the end of the session, if not last but one day, collating all the 10-day workshop. Beautiful slides are made. You enjoy watching that, and like apply the thought process, so that, oh, this is the section and this is the offense, so that you can leverage in drafting your petitions or drafting your cases. Now
Thank you
67.
so much, sir. Thank
Yeah, welcome, madam. Welcome. 67 deals in publishing and transmitting obscene material in the electronic form. 66C, identity theft. And many cases I will be citing. 66C, identity theft. 66D, cheating by impersonation using the computer resources. Then 66E, tampering with the computer source documents. So,
Sir, small observation, sir.
go ahead.
66E is a violation of privacy, sir. This is 65, sir.
Yeah, see, major cyber crimes have covered. There are enough. I'm telling enough. So, 67D is also there. That I did not mention though. So,
No, sir. I'm saying that 60, the tampering with computer source document is section 65, sir.
let me see. Anyway,
Yeah.
66. If I stand corrected if it is wrong, but at the same
Sure.
time, you can go into the details and cross check, because I will be giving the slides also. You can cross verify if some error has happened. So,
Sure, sir. Just-
section 65. Yeah, tampering. Thank you for pointing out that, but let me cross check also because
Yes, sir.
Sir, it is 65, section 65, dealing with tampering with computer source documents.
65. Yeah, I stand corrected. 1665. I will. Okay, editing. Okay. Okay, madam, no problem. I will edit and later send it. Now coming to empowering the law enforcement agencies. So IT Act 2000 empowers law enforcement agencies by providing a clear definition and legal frameworks for cybercrime offenses, establishing mechanisms for investigation and prosecution, granting powers to agencies like cybercrime investigation department to tackle the one second to tackle the cybercrime effectively. So, what are the relevant sections to fall back upon our legacy laws? The IPC. So, it's a traditional criminal law which plays crucial role in addressing the cybercrime. Several provisions of the IPC are applicable to offences committed during the cybercrime, meaning, for instance, sections related to cheating, forgery, defamation can be invoked when these traditional offences are perpetrated online. The IPC complements the IT Act, providing a broader legal framework for prosecuting cybercrime offences that might not be explicitly covered under the IT Act. So, both are yeah, in the my previous session. I always talked about interplay of the laws involved. So here, the IPC and the IT Act are interplaying with the relevant sections of IPC in 420, and the offense is cheating, and correspondingly the cybercrime narrative. It is online scam, fraudulent transactions. Same way, with regard to IPC 465, forgery, that is creating fake documents and manipulating the digital records. So I have dealt the subject in digital records and the addition of digital record or document for the Indian Evidence Act. Earlier, it was oral evidence on documentary evidence only. So now comes the manipulation of the digital records also is attracting section 465 of the IPC Act. Likewise, defamation, invoking statements, instigating statements, creating hatred. Last time I've dealt and also mentioned the latest act, BNSS, and the corresponding sections 192, 196, and 299, which come into defamation definition 499 of the IPC, while the punishment is in 500. So, what does the CRPC give us a framework where it sets the boundaries so that we can handle this cyber crime? So, it is a unique crime. That's why unique challenges. Then the volatility of the digital evidence. I don't know whether the earliest participant who mentioned about the IP address. Then immediately I responded, no, sir, it is not just an IP address, but it's a static IP address and a dynamic IP address. So here, why I made that, why I took all the participants to my first, second session or third session about the IP address. This is a volatility of the digital evidence. In a screenshot or in a grasp or if you just freeze one transaction where the information packets are flowing from sender to the receiver, so I am talking about the second level of analysis that is called digital forensic analysis, where you take a screenshot when a packet is being transmitted. But the screenshot is reflecting IP address node A to node B. This node A has an IP address, node B has an IP address. So at this juncture of date stamp and a time stamp, you have an evidence with the relevant IP address name. So now you allow the packet to transmit, and you will be wondering a changed IP address of the sender and the receiver. So node A and node B will change. So that is the volatility of the digital evidence. However, as we talked, and I quoted my own example of spotting a car with a phase lock loop IC in 1996 or early 2000s. Now advancements have gone into such an extent where I told you the example of a missile being misdirected, and I cited example of Iran and Hezbollah or Hamas missile is being misdirected or redirected with the Iron Dome of Israel to a different target, where Israel is under safe Iron Dome curtain, while the missile is going back to the source. The target has become source itself. Thereby, the missile goes and again kills their own camp. So that's how source code manipulation to extent that the coordinates are changed so that the target coordinates are the sender's coordinate. Over. So the missile goes back and hits the same base target. Like now, that is a valid example or a beautiful example of changing digital evidence. Now, cross-border nature of the cybercrime. These are about 15 slides are there, madam. So you patiently listen and get hooked to the subject. So now, cross-border nature of cybercrime. Cybercrime often transcend national boundaries. So we can make it clear that it is not only limited to local Hyderabad and Guntur or Bangalore to Hyderabad, but it's also international. That calls for international cooperation and communication among the law enforcement agencies. So now, having Mahesh Garu, please mute everybody so that we'll not have any more crosstalk, please. I have politely reminded.
సత్యనారాయణ గారు దయచేసి అన్మ్యూట్ చేసుకోండి.
So now that I have hello, now that much water has flown under the bridge, you should be aware of the technicality of the entire workshop. So all advocates are learned fellow participants and friends. You have come to the stage of levels of technical expertise where you can understand what is an IP address, what is the cyber offense, and the parties involved or devices involved, and the infrastructure involved, and the networking involved, computer networking involved, and the levels of network security involved, and the IP address, MAC address, routers, switches, transponders, satellites, and whatnot. CCTV footage, video turning equipment, video churning equipment, video slicing equipment, and when it comes to digital forensics, we slice and dice. So what is this terminology? What is the nomenclature involved? So now you have come up to the stage where you can understand some cybercrime and the offenses involved. So which calls for technical expertise. Cybercrime investigations demands specialized technical expert in digital forensics, network security, and hacking techniques. This necessitates training and capacity building for the law enforcement personnel. Now, on the another act, that is Indian Evidence Act. It plays a pivotal role in understanding, because last session was admissibility of electronic evidence, and also these three I have covered, but yet because every session has a chain of custody in terms of documental and assets management, and in terms of our understanding, a chain cascading effect, like we started with IT Act 2000 and its salient features, and then we are growing in the knowledge and deep into handling cybercrime. So I talked about the best evidence rule. So 5 or 4 golden rules of evidence, out of which best evidence rule is being applied in identifying the electronic evidence and the requirement of electronic evidence, which is in the data, and in that data or from the data we get the information. Data is a superset, while information out of that data is a subset, which is critical in nature in understanding the offense committed and nabbing the culprit, identifying the relevant information. So data is a superset. So here again the nomenclature involved and the words involved is data is a superset, information is a subset, and the critical part of this information would be our evidence as best evidence rule to follow. That becomes the electronic evidence to admit or adduce in the court of law. Then comes beyond your limitation and understanding. While digital forensics is a technical subject or technical role played by experts like me and other cyber forensic analysts who play a crucial role in interpreting and explaining the technical aspects of the digital evidence in the court of law. What is that? They have a specialized knowledge. Like, what is a specialized knowledge? I have not simply become a CISA, Certified Information Systems Auditor, which is to do with IT audit, information technology audit. Audit pertains to entire information systems under the lens of an auditor. So scrutiny is what we hold the lens to identify the given engagement's scope, role, and responsibility. So these are the technical expertise where me as a CISA and an IT auditor and a digital forensic expert give my testimony under section 45 as an expert's opinion or an expert report. That becomes a testimony. Now, a cyber investigation department, CCID. So other agencies, CPA is there, then CCIS is there. Apart from that, so these are all the law enforcement agencies, and here we have a CCID, Cybercrime Investigation Department, is one of the major law enforcement agency under the Government of India, established under IT Act 2000. CCID plays the central role in combating cybercrime nationwide. CCID handles a wide range of cyber crimes, including online fraud, cyber stalking, data breaches, and child pornography. So the functions, they do the investigations of the cybercrime offenses. What do? They collect. What do they do further? Analyze. What is that they collect?
Jaya, ready.
Good evening, sir. Satyanarayana garu.
Good evening, sir. How are you, sir?
Fine, sir. Fine, sir. Your presence is not felt, and today you have appeared. Thank you very much.
I sent the greetings in the morning to you.
Sorry, sir. Sorry.
You are not seen, it
thank you.
seems.
Sorry, sir. Thank you. I was busy. So very nice that you are here amongst the audience, and you have added weightage to the audience, sir. Thank you very much.
Definitely, because you are a CISA, I have to respect you.
Thank you, sir. Thank you, sir. So the functions, what do they collect? They collect the digital evidence, and unless until they are not trained, and they are not trained to understand what is the digital evidence, some legacy people are there, or like old people are there. Sir, what is this? They are asking in the police station. So I had to explain like a student. Teacher explaining like a student, and he did not get offense, or he did not take it as an offense, but he fairly understood because he was open to new learning. Such should be the case. So the functions here, we talk about functions, the jurisdiction, and the specialized units. So here, training law enforcement personnel is a major bottleneck or a major gap to bridge. Unless until the police is knowledgeable about so and so. Of course, cybercrime is evolving. Every day, new crime is committed with the innovative and creative techniques. So every day, evolving the space need not be a frozen space to understand by the few law enforcement agencies. So the dynamic crimes, so to be, as well as the law enforcement agents' knowledge horizon to improve, to match. So one chases the other. So, crime is changed by the crime is chased by the law enforcement agents, because cybercrime is evolving while the law enforcement agencies are still lagging behind. However, I have not generalized this statement, but there are like Interpol and Scotland Yard of UK and the CIA and the FBI of America. These are all much more advanced. Why? They simulate the cybercrime and see what the incumbent do, and they do workshop on how to handle those simulated outcomes which are not yet committed in the real world. So such is the advancement of the Western technology. And more so, Israel is the super Israel as a country is the super leader in nabbing the cyber crimes and handling the cyber crimes. And most of the very I don't want to name India. India, I don't know whether to mention. Okay, they have bought from Israel. Indian government has bought from Israel, but many comments were there that it was used by the government to do the phone tapping. Now, Delhi government under the chief ministership of our current chief minister, who is in
Revant Reddy.
so no. Current chief Delhi, madam, Delhi. So
Delhi.
Kejriwal.
Kejriwal.
anyway, it is Kejriwal who asked for that additional information. That request from a government has raised eyebrows in the central government. Why this guy is asking this? So I don't want to name that software, but this is the story. So it's advanced. It's a product from Israel, which can be pegged on or piggy ride or piggyback. So let me get into some realities where when you are drawing an ATM, in an ATM, there are shoulder viewers. That means there is like the cabin allows only two, but the third person also suddenly emerges or barges into the ATM station, and from your shoulder, he is overseeing what you are typing as your PIN. If not, he has already put a gadget where it immediately copies the credit card information or debit card information where you put into the ATM machine. Followed? So this much is the advancement. Okay. So now he transmits the credit card information immediately to his team, where immediately the PIN which he has seen typing from the shoulder or overlooking from the shoulder, by the time the actual account holder is drawing money, by the time he comes out of the ATM booth, rest of the money is already drawn. Followed? So such is the cybercrime prevalent now. You can just Google ATM copiers, ATM card reader copiers. You will get the images also. I will give you another presentation. All these fake devices and tools which are used by the miscreants and the cyber criminals. So now comes the jurisdiction. CCID has a nationwide jurisdiction, meaning it can investigate cyber crimes originating from any part of India. The department works in coordination with the state police cyber cells to ensure effective investigation and the prosecution of cybercrime offences across the country. What are the specialized units? Cyber forensic units, hacking investigation units, cybercrime prevention and awareness units. I am not going through the details because I will be sharing this entire deck of the slides. So, state police cyber cells. The establishment has already happened. Coordination with CCID, which is the apex body. Then local level investigations. So, each are designated now as cybercrime police stations. What are the challenges? So, challenges is very few people are knowledgeable, hence capacity building. Then, if the crime is offended or crime is committed internationally, then international cooperation comes into picture, which requires a strong international cooperation mechanisms and corresponding agreements between the two nations, the victim nation and the committing nation. Like last time I mentioned, Nigerian fraud. So it is to do with the Western African origin, but landing cases are in Hyderabad or Bangalore, like that. Like that, you also make a small homework. What is the homework is Jamtara. Jamtara, J for Jharkhand. Just remember, Jamtara, J for Jharkhand. It's a fishing issue. Much. It was in the limelight, and it's also a landmark case. So Jamtara is used. The cybercrime committed is phishing, and many people's accounts have been siphoned.
So
Identity
can you
theft.
spell the full name of that? Jamkara.
Jamtara. Jamtara.
Full name.
Ja-
Full word.
JAM.
Uh,
TARA.
TARA. Okay.
Jamtara, Jharkhand.
Okay.
Cybercrime.
Okay. Thank you, sir.
It's a city and it's famous for headquarters of the eponymous district subdivision. It's also nicknamed as the fishing capital of India, madam. Anta పేరు వచ్చేసింది దానికి. Fishing capital of India.
Fishing means PHI, right, sir?
Yes.
Suddenly we got what is that fishing FISH?
That is what I'm saying. Phishing capital of the cyber offense or crime is phishing. I told you, right? Hacking, identity theft. These are all phishing examples. Masquerading and deep fake, all this. So, what are the relevant? There are 76 cases, madam, reported in 2022. By 2022, 100 people were arrested. Over 72 cases were registered in this simple Jamtara. It's a small, about 210 kilometers away from the Jharkhand capital, Ranchi. It witnessed 76 cases of cyber crimes and 187 fraudsters. 187 fraudsters were apprehended in 2021. So that's why it has gained a notoriety of fishing capital of India. So why so many crimes were committed in one simple thing? Because the law enforcement agencies were ignorant of what is phishing. If not, they could have nabbed. Okay. Next, the international cooperation also mentioned the technological advancements. I just told I'm a digital forensic expert, I should say, where I also told that we use certain tools. And I also just mentioned if you take a screenshot of a data package being transmitted, node A has an address, node B has an address at one date, one timestamp. The moment this date or timestamp changes, so do the nodal addresses of point A, point B also change. That's why I told you dynamic digital evidence or dynamic IP address. So coming to the capacity building, the corresponding law enforcement agencies also to be trained so that these technological advancements are not beyond their comprehensive understanding. Then public, see why it Jamtara has become a fishing capital of India, because public is also not aware. Jharkhand generally is an emerged state out of it's a new state like our Telangana, emerged state of Bihar. That Bihar is already though it's the richest state in the India, but in terms of literacy, in terms of other amenities, it is fully exploited state where the people are forced to be under what do you say, underprivileged, under knowledge, or deprived of the latest technology. Why? There is a political mileage out of it. Let us not go into politics of it. But public is not aware. Whose responsibility is that? It is we lawyers as social engineers. I repeat, we lawyers as social engineers have the prime responsibility in educating the client. Many of in many of my discussions where I say uh, in terms of arbitration and reconciliation, I always propose, sir, it is better to do some reconciliation. There is a difference between arbitration and reconciliation. We all, as law students, have studied. Sir, better to arbitrate so that you can cut down the time, though you can take your own fees, but reconcile the parties so that either of the parties stand to gain in terms of time, in terms of resources, in terms of many aspects like mental agony and the anxiety. By the time adjudication process culminates, many of the clients or petitioners or the respondents or the other of the party may say goodbye to this world also. So, to cutting down their time, it is we as social engineers to also to leverage arbitration and reconciliation as another means to create awareness that large adjudication process is generally lengthy in terms of civil cases, so that we can reconcile and do via media compromise and settle and come to a common platform of understanding. Likewise, with this subject of raising public awareness about the cybercrime prevention and detection and the security measures is a vital role played by we as social engineers to reduce the vulnerability. So, not that the devices like CISA, as I told you, we have intrusion prevention systems, intrusion detection systems, which are tools which, like the Iron Curtain of Israel, has brought into picture, like McAfee is there, or Kaspersky is there. These are the antivirus software we install, but it is not simply antivirus software. It has got an intrusion detection system, it has got an intrusion prevention system, and if not, any culprit who is trying to force himself into our laptop or into our network or home and private network of the home, immediately the administrator screen, there is a pop-up saying somebody with this IP address is trying to intrude. So such is the tools which are using as cyber forensic analysis as well as digital forensics, and we install such tools in our own laptops or our own smartphones. Last time I have shown what I have installed in as a VPN, virtual private network, which is also a tool which I foresee some intruders, some hackers, and then it prevents, because it's a tunneling protocol and it acts as a conduit one party to other party. Third party is shunned away or not allowed. So with this, we'll go into the next subject. The
So
slide is
before proceeding further, can I ask you one more?
please go ahead.
Yeah. So how the lawyers will get all this knowledge, sir? Just going through IT Act 2000 will get all the knowledge. Are there any trainings that are being provided anywhere?
Madam, the very subject called capacity building is that. I just told you who is chasing whom. We as adjudicators or we as advocates in handling cyber crimes, we come in between the offender and the offended. Correct? We either of the parties we take up. Like who is that Bombay Blast case culprit? Can anybody name?
Yeah.
Bombay Blast case.
Kasab.
Exactly. So no advocate was coming forward to be his counsel. Why? There are so many ifs and buts. Likewise, if one is standing for your rights, standing for your integrity. Is my screen visible, madam?
No, sir. No.
Okay. I will
No, sir.
share another one. Now coming to
రమణ గారు కొంచెం మ్యూట్ చేసుకోండి.
so, madam, it is a topic of capacity building. Who is chasing whom? It is a crime being chased by the law enforcement agencies, and we being the people bridging the gap. So we take up either respondents counsel role or the petitioners or different petitioners or plaintiffs role. So if we are if we are not knowledgeable, how can you take up the case at all? Nagalakshmi garu, Sirisha, am I answering your question, madam? Hello?
I think she's not there, sir.
మేడం అన్మ్యూట్ చేసుకోండి.
ఓకే. ఇందాక ట్రై చేస్తే రాలేదు
ఆ,
సార్.
ఇందాక అందరినీ
లిస్నింగ్ టు యూ.
బయట డిస్టర్బెన్స్ వస్తుందని చెప్పి అందరినీ మ్యూట్ చేశానండి. ఇప్పుడు అన్మ్యూట్ చేయండి.
సరే సార్. ఓకే
ఓకే మేడం, క్యారీ.
సార్, వింటున్నాను సార్ జయకర్ గారు.
Okay. So, stop sharing. So, capacity building is that subject, madam, wherein which the gap in understanding a cybercrime is narrowed down to first to educate what is the cybercrime. That is the reason I have come up with a detailed slide for presentation, wherein which you start your thinking process in understanding the cybercrime scenario, which is a comprehensive overview which I am trying to show. So that where do you fall short in understanding the particular cybercrime, then you go back to school in the sense, try to go and learn what is the crime involved, what is the technology involved, what are the tools required in understanding or nabbing the culprit, and what are the relevant laws in picture, and narrowing down or going to the next depth is the relevant section, and the relevant definition and the relevant punishment. That's how you adjudicate a matter, adduce the relevant collected digital evidence, and also check whether it is admissible or not in the court of law, and then present it with the relevant related evidences. Got it, madam?
Yes, sir. Got it.
So my screen is visible now. Cybercrime in India.
Yes, sir. Able to see that.
Right. So it is to do with legal framework governing the cybercrime in India, exploring the relevant sections of the IT Act 2000, the Indian Penal Code, the Code of Criminal Procedure, and the Indian Evidence Act. So we shall examine various facets of the cybercrime. Number one, including hacking, identity theft, cyber stalking, cyber defamation, online fraud, data breach, and the challenges in the digital evidence. So hacking. Hacking refers to unauthorized access to computer systems, networks, and data without owner's consent. often with malicious intent. Types of hacking. Hacking encompasses various forms, including malware injection, data theft, system disruption, denial of service attacks. Fani Kumar is there? Okay. So day one, we were talking about, sir, your video is not coming. Then I justified my video not coming is, sir, video package or packet size of video is much larger than the voice packet. Why? The conduit or the bandwidth is low, while the receiving end also there is a bigger tank, sending tank, the through which sending tank from there, from where the petrol is pumped to the tank A, pumped to the tank B, but the pipe is so small. So when the bandwidth is so small, when 100 viewers or 100 participants are logging in, then my voice, which the speaker's voice, will be distorted because of the crunching bandwidth. Are you following, everybody? No response is
Yes, sir.
coming.
Yes, sir.
Yes,
Yes, sir.
sir.
So now that is what our constraint is, and you should understand. So what is the crime which I am trying to tell now? Now that's what I said. After learning this, you start applying your thought process to understand why I started with the very case law. Why not all this? I've started case law first, then the relevant law enforcement agencies and the crimes. Actually, this should be my first session or this should be my first presentation. But I have done the reverse way. Why? I have set the context of you all as senior lawyers and advocates handling cyber crimes. Start with the live case of Shafi and how Shafi and Tareen were nabbed as culprits. What is the law enforcement agency which has come into picture and how they investigated the crime and how they stood up to the defense and done away with the defense, nabbing the two culprits, Shafi and Tareen. Now, what is that here I explained? Bandwidth. What is that cybercrime can happen? You choke the bandwidth, simple as that. What is that choking? You pump in more than what the pipe can discharge. So the pipe is 1 inch diameter, the length is say 30 meters, and the tank, pumping tank is say 100 TMC, or you can say tank bund itself. And the other side is a low-lying area which is just open. But how long does it take of 1 inch dia pipe to discharge entire tank bund? It takes hours or days also. Likewise, a simple bandwidth channel can be blocked by distributed denial of service. That's why I asked Funny is there or not. So distributed denial of service is, I am expecting a quick email to be read, but several emails are flooded. Which one to take? Or all email tries to come into my inbox, but so many are being flooded, my server hangs up. That is distributed denial of service. Server gets hanged up. Now comes including malware injection. Are you focusing what I am trying to delve upon? It is types of hacking. So
Yes.
SQL injection. Here I have not mentioned, but out of my own practical experience, we are doing. So we do penetration testing as IT auditors. We as IT auditors, I'm a CISA as I already mentioned. We do penetration testing. What do we do? How the hacker has come into my system or the agent system where is our client who has come up to us to defend him that they are not the culprit. It is the hacker who is the culprit, who stole the identity of our system and posed as if I have committed the crime. Hence, I am coming to you, Jayakar sir. Please help me. So we do penetration testing in sending some packets. To the victim computer or victim's system, because this all happens after search and seizure. So we seize the device, take a actual footprint of the system, make a copy out of it. Practical thing I'm telling what we do. Make a copy of it, because original we are not allowed, and it's not healthy to tamper the original, because you may try to inspect, do some post-mortem, and you may destroy the very original evidence. That's why nobody touches, no sensible digital forensic expert touches the original system. So when the device is seized in the search and seizing operation of the law enforcement agency, they will hand over the copy of it. Or if we are handed over the system to us under agreement, and we need to give an undertaking that original is never tampered, only on the copy we do all the digital forensic analysis. So what here malware injection, SQL is a language called structured query language. So where SQL injection is a famous or known cybercrime people do as programmers. Simple as that. Likewise, data theft. So I'm storing all my presentations in a folder. And how do I do? I dump all my presentations into that folder and right click and give a security password also. Unless until that security password is entered and my credentials are authenticated, that user ID and password, till then that folder is oblique to the viewer who can see as Jayakar's presentations as a folder's name, but he cannot enter into the folder. Why? I've set a password for it, and the user is myself. TJJ is the user ID, and password is say some XYZ. So these are the credentials, or these are the security provisions which we have to put. Then what does the hacker do? Now he knows my because I am presenting it. He can guess. There are various means and methods to crack passwords. How to crack password? His name is TJ Jayakar. So his first three letters are half the battle won. Why? If I'm fool, first of all, if you have seen my WhatsApp DP, how many people have seen my WhatsApp DP? No response. Be interactive.
Sir, missing sir.
I thought it's Shepherd dog is there.
Exactly. Why I did not my picture or my photo? Because at least I know what people can do with my photo. So I don't want my photo to be abused. That's why my DP is just my shepherd dog. So likewise, the data theft encapsulated in a folder has to be broke open with my password or user ID. So seeing my DP are not possible. So if my image is there, they will go to Facebook and compare my image or picture to the Facebook availability. In the Facebook, if I have put my profile to be seen by everybody and I did not lock my profile, then the bottom line has my number. Okay, and my full name as TJ Jayakar. So they will half the battle is won by typing the three initials TJJ. I'm not that expert, but I am a novice, and I put my password as TJJ369 or TJJ1234 or TJJ777 or TJJ number 999 over. So my user ID they know TJJ999 over, gone case. Then password. Password is in my Facebook. Please understand how people hack. In my Facebook, I put my family picture. Family picture, 2 sons and 1 daughter. Okay. So, very nice, very nice. So, what could be the first name of the son, or what could be the names of the sons and daughter? So, they will go into Facebook and start scrolling down. And foolishly, if I accepted some strange friend who is a very handsome guy, and I'm an athlete, as you all know. So he's also very muscular, and he's also coming from athletic background. I'll simply accept his friendship request. So by adding him as a friend, so he has access to all my photo set and profile. Are you getting it? What I am trying to tell you, please.
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
I'm doing a live exercise. So now
Yes,
they
sir.
know my 2 sons' name. So I can put my password as my elder son's or my younger son's or my daughter's name as my password. Then what could be the password sending? It asks for numerals, it asks for a capital and a small letter. So roughly half of the battle is won by going to the Facebook. End of it. So when this much has gained ground, what is the next struggle to break the password and user ID? Over. That's how hacking is done. So data is theft that way. Next, system disruption. I just told you, distributed denial of services, where the server gets hanged. So yeah, same thing. Denial of service act attacks I have already mentioned. Next, uh, landmark cases. Notable cases like Arishi Talwar murder case, which has highlighted the complexities of cybercrime investigation and importance of digital evidence. So Arishi Talwar, you know, but it is to do with more of digital evidence, and they burn the body. So many things are there. It's an interesting story. We have to just, as I am giving the entire deck of this PowerPoint presentation, let us not lose time in gaining the subject. So just note down, if you want to see what is Arushi Talwar murder case, you can see what is the cyber forensics involved and the digital evidence they have collected. Next, relevant IT sections. So here again, 65 has come into picture. My dear learned friend has pointed out, 65 is corrected here. 65, 66, 72 of the IT Act address these various aspects of hacking and including authorized, unauthorized access, data theft, and identity theft. So, getting into the details of identity theft. What is the modus operandi? The perpetrators often employ phishing scams, malware, social engineering techniques to obtain the sensitive data, such as their username, their social security number, credit card number, without their permission. Now, what is the social security? It is relevant to America. I still have my social security number as a H1B applicant. It is valid also. So, like our Aadhaar card, in America, they give social security number. I have also been given a social security number. And that is a primary document for any transactions in the government of USA. Next, challenges in evidence collection. Collecting evidence, as I told you, it requires expertise in forensics, and if it is international crime, cross-border collaboration like Interpol and Scotland Yard, FBI, CIA, and the like. What are the relevant sections? 66A, 66B, 65, 66C of the IT Act and sections 419, 420 of the IP address. This is identity theft. So, IPC relating to identity theft, impersonation, cheating, and fraudulent transactions. Now, cyber stalking. What is the definition? It involves electronic communication to harass, intimidate, threaten someone. It can involve sending unwanted messages, emails, social media posts. So, if you have attended my second class, I talked about cyber stalking, cyber bullying. So both these are unwanted messages without the consent of the owner of the account. It can be intimidating, it can be asking for a ransom, it can be harassing, it can threaten someone, or it can deal something, has a deal, like unless until you pay this. See, in the Madam Madhuri, Anita Madhuri is there? Anita Madam? Oh, today she is not there. See, Anita Madhuri Madam has explained in one of the session, said that the advocate gaining entry to little bit on the privacy mode in the sense getting into the personal aspects of that client, he started demanding that see, madam, you are definitely I'll help you. But at the same time, I can help you in uniting with your own husband, provided you do this, you do that. So he was extracting more and money, more and more, then the fee is first agreed upon. Such would be the cyber stalking. It amounts to cyber stalking because he is gained entry into mental spec of it, and is exploiting the mindset, sending messages saying that you do this against this effort of mine. You pay me this against this effort of mine. You don't do this, then you pay the brunt of cyber stalking. That is, I'll try to put our message into your friend circle, our conversations, or your ex-husband's conversations into the current husband's accounts. These are all the things which amounts to cyber crime. Next, elements of the offense. So, what is the element? It is the mental agony which is causing to the client after gaining some confidence into the client's private atmosphere. So, it is causing a fear, it is causing a distress, and it is causing an harassment. What is the medium is using? Is using the chat box or message box or Telegram channel or X channel. These are all the things. So the element bottom line plays a major role. Then how do we protect? What are the relevant laws? It is the victims of cyber stalking through section 67 of the IT Act, 503 and 506 of the IPC, and the relevant provisions of CRPC. So this is a live example of a screenshot. It happened in Brookshire. It's a suburb of Chicago, and both the incident is in Chicago. That is the Midwest region of North America. Chicago is the second great metro of America, first being the New York. So it is about cyber defamation. Cyber defamation refers to the publication of false and defamatory statement about an individual or entity online. So this comments, you whether you follow or not. So these are the live examples, or if not worse, you can imagine and understand what is cyber defamation. So what are the derogatory, denigrating, defamatory statements? Put it into a group or put it into a friendly circle or a group of advocates for that per se. So these amount to cyber defamation. Then what are the defenses? It's 10 o'clock. So, sorry. What are the defenses? It should include truth, fair comment, and a qualified privilege. What is the social media implication? It's a widespread use of social media which has amplified the potential for cyber defamation, leading to significant reputational damage and emotional distress. Why? Because you have a prominent status in the group, and somebody made a denigrating statement which amounts to cyber defamation, and it is also given if I belong to, say, communist, I belong to a Marxist, I belong to Leninist, or I belong to RSS, I belong to BJP, or I belong to AIMM. So this particular statement of the offender should not create to a riot, which attracts BNSS 192, should not create a rift between two communities, that is AM being a Muslim community and BJP RSS is the Hindu community, known for their known. I need not explain that, but it's a known fact. So this particular statement has pushed the status of Jayakar or the power and prestige or name and fame in the group as a neutralist, but pushing me to with a defamatory statement or a denigrating statement, pushing me to a Muslim, that is AMM. So I'm neither Muslim nor I toe the line of Muslim. I'm neither RSS or BJP man to toe the line of these parties. I'm neither a Marxist or a Leninist to toe the line of this communist. So yet this defamatory statement has pushed me to identify myself to the AMM, which is causing a rift between these two groups. So that is attracting 199. Then 196. Then 196 of BNSS. Then it is creating a rift also between and hurting the religious statements or religious sentiments of two groups. So I being a Muslim, then he has put me into a Muslim and made a cursory remark or or a intentional remark creating a rift between Hindus and Muslims. So it is hurt the religious sentiments of Muslim, me myself, and I'm not a Muslim, but I'm saying here he has pushed me into a corner. Then he has created, then attracts 299. So these are the very cyber defamation and the ramifications thereto by committing the offense of cyber defamation. Then, what is the landmark case in the current scenario? It is Rakesh Roshan versus Kaushal Jatmalani, which involved allegations of cyber defamation on social media, and they highlighted the need of effective legal redressal. What are the relevant sections? Relevant sections is 66D of the IT Act and 499 of the IPC, and the punishment is 500. Next, another cyber crime is child pornography. So this is a rampant in mostly in Europe domain, and India is no less. But anybody, so like there is no limitation, there is no geographic, there is no demographic, there is no cultural, or there is no individual limitation for committing a cyber crime. So child pornography is the most vulnerable. The highest crimes reported is in child pornography after the bank frauds. So it's surprising how can child pornography cases are so many when India is a very sincere, a civic censored country and a religious country. So it is unfortunate. I told you there is no limitation for a crime, no gender limitation, no age limitation, no individual limitation. So crime is a crime. One second. Right. So challenges in investigating. Investigating child pornography cases can be challenging due to the global nature of the internet, need for technical expertise, and the sensitivity involved in protecting the identities of the victims. Now I leave you for critical thinking and application of mind. Please read again and get back to me. I'm just taking a sip of water. Please understand and see what the sentence calls for. So, global nature of internet, number one. What is it giving hint? What is the hint you have taken out of the global nature of the internet? Next, what is the need for technical expertise? Second, third, the sensitivity involved in protecting the identities of the victims. Now, we as an advocate, because we may take the position of the counsel for respondent or counsel for the petitioner. Petitioner being the victim is a victim of a child pornography, our own child. So the child has reported so and so thing happened while I was browsing the net. She was doing, or she, mostly she, or the girl child, was doing her project. Nowadays, every school is giving a project where people are going to the Google documents, people are going to the Chat GPT, people are going to the basic net and trying to download some images. The moment, as I told you, Osama bin Laden's case, where cryptography was involved, where encryption of data in an image was involved, using the cryptographic techniques, and the security algorithms are like RSA, MD5, have shown and have told, are being used. And suddenly, this poor girl, out of her anxiety, is downloading, say, tomorrow's project, and she is the class leader, and she has to do the first presentation, and she is trying to talk about the spotted deer, which is an endangered species in India, or say Bengal tiger, or a white tiger. White tiger is also an endangered species. Peacock is also an endangered species, and it attracts non-bailable warrant. So this poor girl has downloading the Bengal white tiger, or for that matter, anything which is an endangered species. But at the same time, while this child was downloading this picture, another image also pops up, which is very how you are monitored on the web. Number one, who you might be using your mother's account or the girl child. I am you in the sense the girl child is using the mother's account or the father's account, because children are not being permitted using the parental controls. But good. But at the same time, all the time this child is not being monitored by the mother. So mother is busy in cooking in the kitchen, and this child, poor child, is downloading the endangered species Bengal tiger. But she's seen another picture also popping up. Okay, she out of her anxiety clicks that. The moment she has clicked, she has established a nefarious connection to the dark world. Are you following my English? By clicking that, they have
Yes, sir.
established, or the girl child. Very good, madam. Thank you. I like the responses. She has connected to a dark world. The channel is established. That means the SQL injector can use this connection to send a program to run on the girl child's laptop. Gone case. The entire laptop is confiscated, and immediately another skin can come up. Now this laptop is under my control. Call your father, call your mother. Otherwise, I have taken your picture and I will put your picture in the nefarious websites where you will get all the calls. This being your mother's account, your mother gets phone calls of very, very bad in nature. The child is caught up and said, "Oh my God, what is happening? I can't." She can't come away. She doesn't know in the panic how to switch off the computer, how to switch off the video. She doesn't know how to cut down this channel. But in the panic, she starts responding. In the recent explanation, I told a lady, I don't know, first name I don't want to mention. Her name is Gupta. She has siphoned, or the, or the culprit has siphoned 84 lakhs within 12 hours. You can Google it. 84 lakhs, Mrs. Gupta, Delhi, digital arrest. Please note down. I have not put in my slides because that is offensive. Offensive, it's a known case. It's a known case. I am not a new, and I can refer also as put as a case law also. But for your anxiety moments, which we were talking about child pornography, I have taken a reference of digital arrest. Now, the child is under digital arrest now. What is happening? She is not able to go run and tell her mother in the kitchen, number one. And that the miscreant or the perpetrator is not allowing this child go out of the screen. That's digital arrest. Now goes on asking, I'll kill your brother, or I will like two brothers, one sister, right? Uh, so I will kill your brother. I know your brother is going on because he's opened the Facebook account also there, and he's I like the worst thing our Indians, mostly not only Indians, every Facebook user. Today, I've gone to shopping. I bought a green sari. I got red sari. I like the green sari. Are bhai, who is bothered about your green sari? But everybody is expecting one like, oh, I like your green sari. Oh, like, what is the cost? All this trash is being explained. Why are you telling your personal affairs in a public forum? So now that public forum is accessible to this perpetrator. He knows where your brother is gone. What is he doing? He is playing in the field. Oh, good. He is in the football field. Sorry, the girl's name is say Lakshmi. Lakshmi, you don't expect your brother come back home. Why? No, he's already under our trap. The panic is further escalated. So these are all things you can imagine. I am telling a story, but I don't want to take your time. So rest you can imagine. So she is under digital arrest. A ransom can be protruded, and the ransom can be taken. So and so date and so football field. You come and meet with the suitcase. Otherwise, all the ramifications will be reality. That is about the digital arrest. Pornography, I need not explain. Next, how protection of children takes place. So now, Section 67A of the IT Act, 372, 373 of the IPC, and offense of child pornography, which emphasizes the need for robust legal measures to protect the children. Next is phishing. Madam, phishing definition. Phishing involves
Yes.
deceptive emails, websites to trick the victims into revealing sensitive personal information. So, half of the battle is won by typing TJJ. Oh, his name is TJJ, TJJ. So, I need not call for, I will go to Gmail, create another account, TJJ123, and send from that account to this in our group. Somebody has written, sir, kindly send me the PPT to my email address. This is live example I'm telling. So that email address will be picked up and sent from the TJJ1234. But this man may be DVS Sharma, who has put DVS Sharma 123 at gmail.com expecting a PPT. Now, who is sending TJJ1234? Thinking that TJJ1234 is Jayakar's email address, he opens the email. Now, in that email, body of the email has, sir, your PPT deck is in this link. If you click, you can download the PPT. So he thinks as if he is genuine, and he thinks as if the email is from Jayakar as a genuine email because he has seen TJJ.
Sir, voice not coming, sir. Voice breaking.
You're not audible, sir. Jacob, sir, you're not audible.
Madam, what will do? Sir is not available.
No, madam. The meeting got disconnected.
Okay.
Now is okay, sir. Now is okay.
Yeah, now
you're-
it's audible.
So, till what slide this was the thing. You are able to see my screen, madam?
No, sir. No, sir. No one
No,
is
sir.
showing, sir.
No, sir.
Fishing.
Now,
Right.
Uh, uh,
Yes.
mm.
It was, yes, sir. It
So
is
this was
visible now.
the thing. See, you are connected. You are now connected to the internet. So I was here, and
Yes, sir.
clearly
We
here.
finished this slide.
Great, great.
Yes.
Okay. This phishing is followed. I have explained all in detail.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Yes. Yes, sir.
And I explained that if the perpetrator is going to my Gmail account, he has my bank account related information, and he
No.
can send a link which I
No.
have clicked or
No.
my child has clicked. This
No,
you
that
have
part
missed.
we didn't deal with. That part we
Okay,
didn't
again.
deal
No,
with. The
sir,
bank
no.
account.
That concept is not.
Okay. For Sirisha madam only now I am talking about phishing. You got the definition. It involves a deceptive email or a website to trick the victims into revealing the sensitive personal information. That is phishing. Jamtara Jharkhand issue. Phishing capital of India. I am
Got it.
repeating myself. Yes. So now what is happening here is my name is TJ Jekar, and the perpetrator, seeing the information somewhere on the globe or on the net, he knows I am TJ Jekar, and my email could be tjj1234. So he has created from his own Gmail account another Gmail account called tjj1234. Now he is snooping, another cybercrime, snooping into our web presentation, because our live is going on in YouTube, and he knows. I don't know whether Yagna Legal, our our channel is secure or not. But if the hacker is smart enough, goes into the YouTube and sees the presentation details and gets the information or gets handy with the chat box. So if you see this chart information, I said hi. So all I've got, yes, right? Hi information has been got into their chat boxes.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Say yes,
Yes,
or
sir.
no? Yes. So
Yes, sir.
now
Yes, sir.
Coming.
who is doing exactly? So what is it doing? He's snooping into our YouTube. Why? Because he is interested. Somebody, a weakling will give some critical information in the chat. So, Mr. MVS Sharma, all I promised that I will send you the deck, right? But MVS Sharma is little bit anxious. He said, Jekar sir, please send your PPT onto this email address. The moment you DVS Sharma gives DVS Sharma at gmail.com, simple as that. So now the perpetrator who is snooping around our entire presentation picks up to DVS Sharma's email address, sends a new email from TJJ1234 just created. Madam Sirisha, are you paying attention?
Yes, sir.
Nagalakshmi Sirisha గారు
Yes,
ఉన్నారా
sir.
లేదా?
Yes, sir. వింటున్నా.
మీకోసమే నేను డైరెక్ట్ క్రైమే చెప్తున్నాను మేడం, క్రైమే ఎక్స్ప్లెయిన్ చేస్తున్నాను.
అవును సార్, అవును.
Sir, just to add, sir, in
So
the
now
day
he
two,
has created a new, he has generated a, go ahead.
sir,
I'm
day
listening.
two, the same thing, whatever you have mentioned, that one it was happened. If you remember that one, somebody has joined and he's as a dalalia, and he put it the slot of wrong content, and he said that when somebody will reply that one some information, and then a lot of things have happened on the chat window when we are observing.
Yes, exactly. So now here in our own YouTube presentation, the chat is also popping up, and the chat DVS Sharma said, Sir Jekar sir, please send your deck to dvssharma@gmail.com. The perpetrator who is a snooper, snooping is a offense. Snooping is a cyber crime. So this snooper, the perpetrator is doing what? Action is snooping. So the snooper has picked up DVS Sharma's email address and created a new account called TJJ1234 and sends DVS Sharma one email from the newly created Gmail. Is Jayakar really sent it? No. But what is he doing? He is deceptively sending an email to get some information if DVS Sharma is a victim. Simple as that. He's a bakra. Victim means can be a victim. So why not I throw a stone? If glass is there, it will hit. So he sends a mail saying that Sharma Garu, if you click the link which I am sending, okay, I'll pay attention to what I am talking. If you click the link which I am talking, which I have sent in the email, you automatically get Jayakar sir's PPT. That means Jayakar is sending this email, okay, and you people or DV Sharma is under wrong impression that this is genuine TJ Jayakar sir's email, whose email could be TJJ1234, and he is asking me to click this link so that I can download the PPT deck. So he simply clicks the link. As I just mentioned, this girl child who saw another pop-up while downloading the Bengal Tiger gains an entry or creates a conduit between the perpetrator and to the child's mother's account, whose laptop is being used by the girl child to do her project. And the project focus is endangered species, and the endangered species is Bengal tiger. Poor girl, in that anxiety, she has gone under digital arrest, and the entire family is at stake. Likewise, this phishing is an offense committed by a deceptive email sent to DVS Sharma from a non-Jayakar. Perpetrator name is Snooper, and Jayakar is not the valid person who has sent the mail, but the Snooper got all the details after going into the details of the DVS Sharma's settings, because the click or the link which has clicked has run a source code which goes and executes in DVS Sharma's laptop, pulling out all the information, more so private personal information that includes this. DVS Sharma is already registered email of the Andhra Bank which is having, or Union Bank which is having. Half of the battle is won, and it goes to see somewhere in his profile what is the alternate number to rescue or restore your lost data. He has given his phone number, and this phone number is the registered phone number in the bank account. Half 75%, now 100% personal information is released. Over. You understood, madam? Sirisha and
Yes,
company.
sir. Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Beautiful. And this is how cybercrime is committed. Now, me as a digital forensic analyst or an expert, what do I do? Which tool I use? And how do I pinpoint? How do I freeze? At every stage is my business. And you will also be knowing in the last day, which now last day itself have meaning brought to this day or fifth day, so that you will have a grip of the situation and know what is the cybercrime and how it is committed. This is a live example I have shown you. All are happy?
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir. Very
Yes,
much.
sir.
No? Okay, thank you. Okay.
Yes,
Next
sir.
is
Thank you,
credit
sir.
card fraud. Very good, very good. Thank you, madam. So credit card fraud involves stolen and unauthorized credit card details to make purchase or withdraw money, that you know. How do we prevent? Individuals or account holders who are holding their debit cards or credit cards, they can protect themselves by being cautious about suspicious emails, just now mentioned, websites, using strong words, strong passwords, and regularly monitoring their bank statements. Because in my previous sessions, I always make a mention, sir, 1 rupee credit has come. 50,000. Another learner friend's real case is he got 5 lakhs into his account, but he's silent. Why? People are greedy. Oh, 5 lakhs have come. Tomorrow I'll try to go and buy a small motorcycle or something. By the time they realize not only the 5 lakhs which has come as a credit, but rest of the 15 lakhs in his account has also vanished and well polished by the time he wakes up in the morning. So this is happening. So we have to be very careful. Okay, next, data breach. So what is data
Sir,
breach?
you said half story. What should be the
I
next
leave it to
step
your
of that
imagination,
person?
madam. I leave it to your imagination. Okay. Uh, what is a data breach? So I just told you it can involve personal data, financial information, confidential business secrets, everything. So implications. It can have serious implications on organization, including financial loss, reputational damage, legal liabilities. Can anybody extrapolate this data breach of a corporate identity which is listed on the stock exchange? I've given you all the hints. Next day, the company share price will crash. Or next day, the company share price, whoever knows this insider information that this time, say XYZ company is showing 400 times profit. So the insider information leaks to Madam Sirisha, and Sirisha only knows this information. And tonight itself, before the market opens, she books a trade for 1,000 shares. Example చెప్తున్నా. For example, 1,000 shares of this XYZ company, and by opening itself, first 15 minutes, the share price zip zap zooms. Okay, 15 rupees share becomes 100, 100, then 100, 200. Why? Data breach has occurred, and the insider information has been revealed to some close associates dealing with the company, and that information is shared by Sirisha and company. Madam Sirisha is very happy with her immediate gain, but the company stands to gain. Likewise, if the information is negative, the company stands to lose. You follow? Financial information of the company. And the
Yes, sir.
reputational damage. So, data protection regulations, personal data, there is a data protection is, what is the latest data protection act, sir? Anybody can respond? I already told you that I will be taking another session on that specifically. Anybody can tell the what is that new act? So it is Data Privacy Data Protection Act, DPDP, November 23 enactment. So these are the ones which are enacted to address the data breaches concerns. Landmark case, Aadhaar data breach case highlighted the vulnerabilities of large-scale databases and the need for robust data security measures. So I don't want to extrapolate this, but like Americans have social security numbers, we all Indians have UIDA number or Aadhaar number, which is highly sensitive. If you go back to 10 years or 5 years back, to open an account, everybody needed Aadhaar card. If you go to a Xerox shop, you will get 100, if not 100, that is too exaggeration. At least four Aadhaar card numbers as thrown as a not clear Xerox copies. You
Yes,
understood?
yes.
So such is the vulnerability. Such is the vulnerability. That's why it calls for robust data security. So somebody like me has reported to the Supreme Court, and they said, no, don't make it mandatory. Aadhaar card is not required for showing a picture identity card or as a valid proof of identity. So they have come up with voter ID or any other IDs other than Aadhaar card. So such is the robust data security measures to be in place that we are not vulnerable. So with this, I have covered. By 10:30 is my promise. I covered with God's grace. So here is the situation where we came to know. Summarizing. So we come back to main screen. So anybody have any questions or concerns, you may raise it in the chat box. Madam Sridevi and team will collect it and send to the next session. And I've already promised that every session beginning or session, every next session has 15 minutes or depending on the size of the concern, we'll delve on that issue so that it will be redressed and addressed. So this session Nobody has brought up any issue of the past issue or concern of any past issues. We'll carry forward to the next session, that is day after tomorrow. Meantime, you regurgitate what we have covered. Our approach is totally in the reverse way. We came from the illustration to the cyber crimes committed and what is the role and responsibility of the law enforcement agencies. With this, I conclude, and I hope all are literate enough to understand the roles played by the law enforcement agencies as well as the kitty of cyber crimes, which are many, but to name a few I have mentioned, and the relevant sections of the IPC, CRPC, and also the punishment thereto. And you please do the extra effort of correlating with the relative or related sections in the new laws of BNS, BNSS, and the Bharatiya Sakshya Adhinam. Thank you once again for all your patient listening and understanding, and shoot your questions or concerns to Madam Sridevi and team, and she will collate and let us resolve them in the next session. Thank you once again
Thank
for
you,
all
sir.
your patient listening and participation.
Thank you, sir. Thank you, sir. Good night, sir.
Welcome,
Good
madam.
night, sir.
Mahesh Garu, are you there?
Sir, yes, sir.
Okay. You can close the YouTube.
Okay, sir.
And, call it a day. Thank you once again for your help and support.